Alright, so we got an 06 Silverado LBZ diesel here. I had to jump start it, so it's got the batteries only had 10.5, 11 volts. So this truck has 231,000 miles. I'll give a brief overview. We took it to the trade-in. It's just too rough for us to want to mess with. It's kind of a project truck. It runs and drives well, but you know, between the cosmetic stuff and the paint work, and I'll show you the TCM got hit by the fan blades, which we've since fixed the fan shroud and the issue that caused that, but we just had trouble finding one of these TCMs. Let's see here. So, you know, we just have too many trucks to want to mess with. We got like 50 trucks right now, and we just don't have time to mess with this or get into a project. You can see it's charging. Alternator's charging at 13.5 volts, so alternator's good. It's got no blow-by at all. The engine is really solid. It runs great. You know, the powertrain alone is worth $8,000 between the engine, the transmission. It's four-wheel drive. It's got 231,000 miles. You know, somebody painted the frame red for some reason. It's just kind of a kid's truck, but it's got good tires on it. Then the interior is actually pretty good. All the windows work. I'll show you here. You see that all those windows work. It's got heated seats here. They're not really wanting to work, probably because of the battery, but it's got the power locks work. It's got gray leather. This could used to be maybe reupholstered in this little section, but all the other seats, all the other parts are pretty good. I'll kind of show you each thing if it works or not. It's got bows. You can see overall, like, the interior is probably worth $1,000. You know, we just don't want to take the time to part this truck out. But this will be LT model, I believe. Needs a radio. It's got a aftermarket sunroof. This little thing back here, which I think some of these things aren't going to work because there's not good batteries in it. If I had two like good batteries, or once they charge, it should be all right. It's got a couple things back here. The bumper cover, I don't know what that goes to. It has spare tire, can of dip, of course. The body is pretty scratched up. It's got, like, you know, they painted some of this trim. Looks like spray paint. Like I said, all the tires are pretty good all the way around. They're decent. It looks like they just painted whatever they could reach. They painted it red for some reason, just the visible stuff. So I don't believe they actually took the cab off to paint this. They just did it by hand. It's got aftermarket tail lights. It's gonna need a tailgate handle, but everything else is there. It should work. Yeah, that one works. That one's starting to move. I just can't get it without pliers, but the tailgate works. It's got this kind of aftermarket chrome tip. It's missing this fender flare. Looks like somebody laid on their back and just painted it red. We got this as a trade-in from Florida. This fender is like a dark gray. It's not black like the rest of it. I'll get in, I'll check all the accessories inside. The power seats work. It's got some rocker rust right here. This truck came from Florida. Let's see. So there must be some sort of heated seat module that's not working or something like that. They must have drove it on the beach or around salt, because to be from Florida, the only salt you really see is from the beach. See, that power seat moves. The little thing for the reclining is broken off. Oh, let's see what we got here. So the engine light's on. That's because of the TCM. The ABS and brake light are on. It says service brake system. Probably going to be like a ABS sensor or module if I had to guess. And the glow plug light is staying on. That's probably the glow plug control, to be honest, on these. We'll check this four-wheel drive here. I can hear it shifting. Yep, it shifts into four-wheel drive. I heard the transfer case motor. Now we'll do 4 low. So it's trying, you know, it's probably the transfer case motor, or the little motor actuator is probably just weak. It seems like the went into 4 high, no problem. So we'll go back to 2 high. I can hear it. Let's make sure I'm in neutral. Okay. So now we'll do 4 low. Oh, okay. I heard it. It tried. But I don't think it's going to do it. So, you probably got to get in there and bang on it with the hammer if I had to guess. As far as gauges, all the gauges are reading great. This engine has great oil pressure. The alternator, everything's good on it. You're going to need a new factory harness. Somebody cut and spliced into the original. Let's see. Get some, see what's working, what's not working here. I mean, overall it's not in bad shape. It's got a lot of potential. The heat's blowing hot. Now let's check the AC. The tow haul thing works. If I go into reverse, so it's going into drive, but I can tell it's confused from the TCM. It's not even reading on here the lights and stuff. You know, that TCM just shredded up by that fan. The air is getting cool, not super cold. Now it's getting colder. I'm gonna go see if the fan's even working. Or the compressor, I mean. So the compressor is spinning. So I'm going to assume it's probably low on Freon. Just getting cooler and cooler as I sit here. It's definitely below ambient temperature now. You know, not quite 60 degrees, but it feels like it's about 70 or so. And it's 80 degrees here today. So we'll give it a little more, see if it gets colder and colder. I'm gonna try to move the truck a little bit and see if we can show you at least that the transmission engages. So it's got good power steering. You know, the truck moves. We had it towed here as a trade-in because we sold the guy a newer Duramax. It's not telling it to engage in reverse, so that's gonna need that TCM for sure. The AC is colder now, so it's doing pretty decent. But yeah, overall, that's it. Oh, let's check the sunroof. I hear it trying. Yeah, it's actually working, so it does something. And this is definitely an aftermarket. The sunroof definitely is sealed. It doesn't leak because we've had some insane rain the past week, and there's no moisture anywhere in this cabin. And we had a lot of rain. It would have flooded if it did. But yeah, that's, you know, that's the 06 Silverado. It's a good project truck and a good parts truck for somebody. I'd say you got about $12,000 worth of parts here, or a $15,000 truck if you can get it fixed up and cosmetically looking pretty decent. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to take this jump box off so you can see it's not running off of the charge. The alternator is good. And once again, here's the part number for this TCM. So maybe you'll have better luck finding one than I will.